I work in a bookstore, which means people assume I'm gentle, quiet, easy to corner. My sister-in-law believed that too. She walked in that afternoon wearing a smile that never reached her eyes. Her son ran loose between the shelves, knocking into tables, touching everything. I asked politely once for him to slow down. She leaned close to him, close enough for me to see her lips move but not hear the words. Go on. The book hit me before I could step back. Hardcover, sharp edge. Pain bloomed across my arm. The store went silent. Then she screamed, "Why would you hurt my child?" The lie landed fast and loud, like she'd practiced it. I hadn't even opened my mouth yet. "I didn't touch him," I said, forcing my voice to stay steady. Customers spoke up immediately, one after another. They had seen everything. That's when she straightened, wiped her tears, and said calmly, "My father is a judge." The room changed, not because the truth disappeared, but because fear tried to replace it. Authorities were called. She cried again, clutching her son like proof of innocence. I answered every question honestly. I didn't beg. I didn't apologize for something I hadn't done. Then my family arrived. They didn't ask me to compromise. They didn't suggest silence. They stood beside me. Witnesses were recorded. Security footage was taken. That should have been the end. It wasn't. A week later, I was summoned to court. False charges. Exaggerated claims. A story twisted just enough to sound believable. Her father wasn't presiding, but his influence sat heavy in the room. Every objection from her lawyer was aggressive. Every pause felt intentional. Still, my family didn't step back. Our lawyer asked for evidence. The footage played. The witnesses spoke again, this time under oath. And when questions turned toward how the case had been pushed forward so quickly, how complaints had been prioritized, how procedure had quietly bent, the courtroom shifted. Records surfaced. Calls logged. Favors traced. Not just for this case, but others. Small ones. Quiet ones. Patterns no one had dared to question. Her father's face went pale. The judge called a recess. When court resumed, it was no longer about me. It was about abuse of power. My sister-in-law sat frozen as her confidence drained away. The smile she'd worn that day in the bookstore never came back. Charges against me were dismissed. Her false reporting was addressed. An inquiry was opened into her father's conduct. Weeks later, he resigned. Not loudly, not proudly, just gone. And her? She avoids my name now. Avoids my eyes. Avoids places where truth has witnesses. I still work at the bookstore. Same shelves, same quiet, same bell at closing time. But now, when people look at me, they don't see someone easy to corner. They see someone who stood still while lies screamed, while power leaned in close and didn't move. Because the truth doesn't need volume. It just needs time. And I had plenty of it.